The amount of toy sales, T, in billions of dollars, consists of two groups, sales of video games, V, and sales of traditional toys, R. In recent years, the sales of traditional toys and total sales could be modeled by the following equations, where N is the number of years since 2010. And so what we're given is R, which the problem says is sales of traditional toys, and T, which is the total sales. And so what we're going to do is we're going to find two things. We're going to find the sales of video games. We're going to find an equation for sales of video games. And then once we have that, we're going to use our model to predict what the sales of video games are going to be this year, which I'm recording this in 2026. So we're going to predict what the sales of video games will be in 2026 using that equation that we come up with. Okay, so what we know is that the total amount of sales, according to the problem, consists of two groups. It's video games and traditional toys, and it says video games is V and traditional toys is R. I want to know what V is. That's my goal. What are video game sales going to be? And that's a pretty simple equation to solve for. Video games is the total minus traditional toys. Okay, so for us to figure this out, what video game sales are just video games, I take the total, T, and subtract R. And I'm given these two equations. I'm given the total video game sales, which is this equation, and I'm given the traditional toys, which is that equation, and I just want to do total minus traditional. Okay, so here we go. So total sales, I'm going to write out as 0.45 n cubed minus 1.85 n squared plus 4.4 n plus 22.6. And then I need to subtract the traditional sales, which is the second equation. Now, when I write this second equation, I need to use parentheses. I don't have to have parentheses around the first one because I'm not going to distribute anything. It's okay to put them. I'm gonna put them there just because, but you don't have to have them. But you have to have them around the second one because when I say I'm subtracting, I want to make sure I subtract everything. Every single thing gets subtracted in the second one. And I am obviously going to be subtracting some decimals. So you may want a calculator handy while you're doing this so that you don't make any math errors. So the first equation doesn't change. There are no values in front of the parentheses, so there's nothing to distribute. I can just rewrite this first equation exactly like it is. The second equation is being subtracted, so I need to distribute this minus sign. So minus 0.46 n squared, or sorry, n cubed, minus negative, so plus 1.9 n squared, minus 3n minus 19. Once we've got the minus sign distributed, all we need to do is combine like terms. And so that's what we're going to do next, is combine our like terms. So I've got n cubed combined with n cubed. So I've got 0.45 minus 0.46, which is negative 0.01 n cubed. And then next I've got negative 1.85 n squared plus 1.9 n squared. That's going to be 0.05 n squared. Good. Then let's do, let's see, our n's. 4.4 n minus 3 n is 1.4 n. And then finally, oops, I'm out of colors. Let's pick a new color. Let's do purple. 22.6 minus 19 is plus 3.6. And this wonderful equation is our video game sales. So there's the first thing we wanted to do. We wanted to come up with an equation for video game sales. Now, the second thing we wanted to do is predict what video game sales will be this year, which is 2026. I don't want to plug in 2026 for n though, because the problem says n is the number of years since 2010. So 2026 is 16 years since 2010. So n equals 16 for the year 2026. So I want to find v of 16. So I'm going to do negative 0.01 times 16 cubed plus 0.05 times 16 squared plus 1.4 times 16 plus 3.6. And so that monstrosity is what I'm going to type into my calculator. So let me bring my calculator up. Whew, here we go. Negative 0.01 times 16 cubed plus 0.05 times 16 squared plus 1.4 times 16 plus 3.6. Hopefully I typed all that in right. Nope, I definitely did not type that in right. Where did I mess up? 16 cubed. That's 1.4 times 16 plus 3.6. Something tells me video game sales are not going to be negative. What did, oh, let's see if we can find the mistake. It's definitely a mistake somewhere because I don't think video game sales are going to be negative. So let me take a look real quick. Okay, so I paused the video to see if I could figure out what the mistake was I made. And it turns out there wasn't a mistake. I went and I graphed our video game equation. Here it is. I graphed our video equation in Desmos. And it looks like the video game sales go up and up and up and up and up until we get to this point about right here, which is a value of 8. So this will be 2018. Video game sales peak. And then our equation looks like video games start to come down. And right here, this x-intercept, 15.5, video game sales hit 0. So according to our model, the middle of last year, 2025, there were 0 video game sales. Now, as far as I know, video game sales were not 0 last year. But if you go look at 2016, here's 2016. Apparently last year, or this year, in 2016, the video games are going to lose money, and they will continue to lose money every year. Will they come back up? It doesn't look like it. If I zoom out, it looks like video game sales just keep going down forever. So bad news, kids. According to this equation, video games are done. Last year was the last year video games made money. They're going to lose money forever. No more video games. Sorry. I mean, it's either that or this equation is wrong. So, I mean, clearly that's the end of the video game industry. But I was really worried that there was a mistake in the math, but nope, no mistake in the math. It just turns out, according to this equation, video games are finished making money. So, whew, close call. I thought the math was wrong, but it turns out it's only that a multi-billion-dollar industry has completely crashed. So, crisis averted. So, instead, if we wanted to make a prediction that perhaps makes sense, we could say in 2012, what would the sales be? And we could go up to 2, like where x equals 12, and say like 10.32 the video game industry would make, and this was in billions of dollars, $10.32 billion in 2012. But according to this model, video games ever since right here. Oh no, this wasn't 2012. This is 2022. Sorry. Ever since 2018, about the middle of 2018, it's been hard times for video games. They've been on the downswing. Sorry, I guess find a new hobby because it's all over. Anyway, equation and graphing were correct. Perhaps the information the equation is giving us not 100% right.